Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Biafran Golden Child. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice from. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm mighty glad as always to interact with us in Biafra Superstars Media. We say that it says, we call it spade a spade, we don't call it an agricultural instrument. And of course, we bring up information that we hear from reliable sources, especially people close to our Prime Minister, the Venerable Simon Ekpa and Joko, and of course, our maximum leader, Nnamdi kanu. So today, I'm happy that we could have this opportunity to interact ourselves. Yes, but I want to make a brief commentary. For today's audio, we want to comment on the first appearance, the resumption of trial of our own Nnamdi kanu, at the hands of Justice James Omotosho, Federal High Court 7 Abuja. I want to make a brief commentary, because there are certain matters arising and a lot of things has happened. And if you don't open your eyes clearly, you don't watch very keenly, if you're not perspicacious enough, you might not see the undertone of what is happening. So I want to call our hearers' attention to certain, situations that have taken place and are taking place since the 21st of March, 2025, during that inaugural hearing, you know, during the inaugural trial, this time under Justice James Omotosho, the Federal High Court 7. So, ladies and gentlemen, I crave your indulgence. Let us go through what that court proceeding was. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with the court proceeding. We saw on that fateful day that our own Nnamdi kanu has fully now, accepted, his new counsel in the person of a two-time, Attorney General of the Federation, a son, you know, person was, Chief Kanu Agiri, son, who took over from Maz's-led counsel, Aloy Jumako and co. Justice, former Chief Justice of the Federation, uh, Chief Kanu Agabe's son, is now fully in charge. And he has brought his experience in law, he has brought his experience in litigation, he has brought his experience as an Attorney General of the Federation to bear in this matter concerning his own bone of bone and his own flesh of flesh. And he has said, I'm going to take this matter like Kanu is my son. I'm going to take this matter like Kanu is my brother. I'm going to take this matter like Kanu is my bone of bone, which he is, and I'll make sure I do it to the best of my ability. Yes, but in doing so, I want to equally appeal that Oyendo Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gives me the leeway, gives me the opportunity, and gives me the free hand, to, prosecute his case, to, shepherd and undertake trial. I want to defend him, and I want to defend him in total. I want him to know that he can rest assured that yes, Chief Kanu Agabe's son, former Attorney General of Nigeria, will not in any way compromise his image, compromise his reputation, or in any way jeopardize his options. Because, of course, I believe first and foremost, what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is doing is not a strange thing. It's not rocket science. What Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is doing is strictly representing, his people, bringing to fore the plight of the Biafran man, highlighting all the inadequacies, all the sovereigns, and all the, malpractices, and that his people have endured. Yes, inhuman, inhuman conditions, and a sort of almost complete disenfranchisement from Nigerian politics. He said Martin son, Chief Kanu Agabe's son, uh, who is representing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, listening for starters. I believe in Biafra. For starters, I believe that yes, a man who is not, acceptable to a country he calls his own, a man whose efforts are not appreciated in a country. He is one of the, his people are one of the foundational, structures. Cannot be happy when he's treated like a second fiddle, when he's treated like a nobody, when he's deliberately deprived of, any good options. Of course, Chief Kanu Agabi's son, said, I want to be fully proclaimed everywhere. Tell everybody. I believe in what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has said. I don't think there's anything sensationalist in this. Where he is a peaceful protester. What he has done is akin to what late Martin Luther King did in America. I mean, you must talk about the plight of your people. You must, tell the world, proclaim it to the world. Show them how your people are being marginalized. Show them that your people are treated as unwanted species. Tell them that your people are even endangered in their own country. Of course, we must always maintain equity, truth, and justice, fairness in everything we do. So Chief Sam Kanu Agabi, who is now the bona fide legal, chief legal representative of defense representative of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, has said, I trust Mazen Kanu's judgment. He's a man of peace. He's not doesn't engage in kidnapping. He is not a terrorist. He has not gone into harvest of human parts. He is a man that is loved by everybody. And I assure the whole country, assure the country called Nigeria, that releasing this man, granting his freedom, unconditional freedom, will make for more peace in the southeast, will promote peace and harmony in the rest of Nigeria. Yes, but continue our detention and keeping him, in the dungeon of DSS under inhuman conditions, under unfavorable conditions that have affected his health, affected his sight, affected his well-being, affected his business and family life is totally, totally, unacceptable. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, we are having, a representative, a legal counsel to our Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, our Onyendu, our venerable leader, who is a man who knows his onions and who knows that yes, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Who knows that that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Yes, you don't treat me like a fowl and then you treat another person like an eagle. No. Of course, Chief Sam Agabi, Kanu, Chief Kanu Agabi, son, equally reiterated what happened in other regions. How Sunday Go was, pardoned unconditionally. How Metasin people, how the Boko Haram, most of the time they are arrested, they are pardoned, they are, taken back into the military. They are given some monies to start businesses. He talked about the uh, Metahala people. He talks about the Fulani herdsmen who are treated with gloves, gloves, kid gloves. And they wondered why this time is an Igbo man. Why are people, why is the government suddenly playing a lackadaisical attitude, preferring instead to put a man under, such a terrible condition the past 4 Christmases and holding him hostage after a very unfortunate uh, uh, rendition from Kenya. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, who is now, in charge of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's, defense council, defense all over. I think we're in good hands and we can trust that justice shall prevail. Yes, it shall prevail. And that is what we're hoping to see. Yes, but equally, some matters, I talked about some matters arising. Yes, because some information filtered to us. Yes, all the way from Finland. Yes, let me say this boldly. We are all Biafrans. We should not be afraid to say it the way it is. We should not be afraid. We are on the verge of getting our full autonomy as a country. We have already, gotten our full redeclared United States of Biafra. And our Deputy Prime Minister is doing all our best, to make sure we get our sovereignty, we get our everything that we need as a country to function and to, grow and develop as a full entity, as a nation. Yes, so we should not be afraid to call a spade a spade. Ladies and gentlemen, uh, yes, some information is coming in from Finland today, has given us some new, you know, uh, we have seen some new light. We have been warned to be very careful. We have been warned to be very wary, wary. Yes, we have been told to be very, very careful. That this should not be a case of the more you look, the less you see. We should always be mindful of what has happened to people in the past. Yes, yes, message is coming direct from our own Prime Minister's office, no matter that it's incarcerated in Finland. Yes, they have gone, watch the proceedings on the first uh, trial of the 21st March trial of, Onion Dumas and Nnamdi Kanu, right at the hands of the new justice, for that cause Justice um, James Omotosho. They have looked at the proceedings, they have read the transcript of the proceedings, and they have told us, shaking their heads, that we should be extremely very careful. We should be very careful. They have told our Muslim leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to be extremely very careful. They have told his led counsel, yes, Chief Kanu Agabi, son, have told him, yes, even though you've been the one-time Attorney General of Nigeria, you have two times, for that matter, you have to watch before you leap. Yes. Why are they saying all this? Why all this, why are they wary? Why all this unhappiness? Why are this foreboding? Why all these countenances? Yes, the truth of the matter is that we have just been told that we should look before we leap. There's no iota of truth in some of the things that we see happening, especially in that first uh, 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 court session, this new court session for our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And so, what are their suspicions? What are their, well, not just what are their suspicions? What is the dominion sign that they have seen? So what they have told us, ladies and gentlemen, praise up, freedom lovers, fellow Biafrans, listen clearly. What they have told us is we should beware. We should beware of sheep, of wolves. We should beware of wolves that come in sheep clothing. We should beware of wolves that come in sheep clothing. We should beware of, the hands of, you know, Esau, but the voice of Jacob. Yes, the hands of Esau, but the voice of Jacob. Should beware wolves, wolves that appears like sheep. They come in sheep skin, of course, to do very, very, unimaginable damage, to create destruction and mayhem, to do very, insidious and you know, uh, total harm to those who are unsuspecting. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to our notice what we are hearing all the way from our leaders, all the way from Biafran leaders, right from Finland, right from the, where we'll call the bedrock of the Biafra regional government in government, the Biafra regional, government. We want you to be aware that a lot of things are not what they seem. Yes. You might wonder why I'm speaking like this. You might wonder why they are afraid, why they are being so cautious. But of course, they have told us to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Nigeria's situation is what all of us know. There's no truth in the politics. There's no truth, and especially when it concerns freedom fighters, when it concerns the Igbo man, when it concerns the Biafrans, when it concerns, Ndi Igbo. There has been a general tendency for this government, the junta in this place, that our own later Chinua called there was a country. This place, animal farm of the country. We should be very, very cautious of what is happening. So let me tell you what they told us. They told us that emphatically this trial that commenced with so-called apologies from Federal High Court Judge Justice James Omotosho, apologizing to our maximum leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu about the length of time he has, suffered under the Nigerian government, how it was that he was arrested since 2015. And when he was arrested, he was barely, 45 years or thereabout. But right now, you can imagine he's already 57, all the, and his health and everything about him has been, you know, uh, it's really a sad one actually. Really a sad one. They said Justice Omotosho was observing, of course, that Nnamdi kanu has really suffered a lot. I mean, this is a trial that started, in 2015, and ever since then, yeah, he has really, it's really touched him that this gentleman is still, undergoing delays. And he apologized for its mishandling, you know, and, he told him, I'm sorry, all this long trial that began in 2015 and elapsed and up to this moment, is not good for you, for your health, for your business, and for everything about you. So we were surprised, we were all carried off balance when uh, the Justice James Omotosho himself acknowledged delays in Kanu's trial and apologized for its mishandling. Yes, you know, saying that our own Mazen Nnamdi Kanu he has seen the evidence on him physically, and so that physical evidence where he's macheted, where he's not eating well, where he looks sickly, where he needs urgent medical attention, that all these are evidences that he is not happy. And of course, this could definitely, definitely make anybody, you know, uh, to feel bad or to, you know, resort to anger and all those issues, you know. So he said he apologized to Mazen Kanu and to Mazen Kanu's legal representative, saying, look, I know how it is. I'm sorry it has taken this long. I'm hoping that this time around we are going to make the process, a lot better. We're going to make it a lot better. We're going to make it a lot quicker. And of course, you know, you should be really, really, uh, bear with us. You should be, you know, happy, and you should not take it to heart. Yes, the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, says the length of the trial may have taken a toll from Mr. Kanu when he was arraigned in 2015. He was 47, now he's 57, and still does not know where he's headed. This may have led him to make certain comments which were not right. Justice Omotosho also tendered an apology to the prosecutor on behalf of Mr. Kanu. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, what we're saying here is we have just been told right from our, you know, our prime minister's enclave that we should be wary of these apologies coming from, Justice James, the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, that it looks like, a wolf. A wolf is now coming in a sheep's clothing to deceive, to befuddle, and to be disingenuous, far from the truth. Let us be very, very, you know, uh, cautious, because sometimes you know how this Southwest people treat uh, the Biafrans, the Southeast. Every time they come to us, they double speak. They speak from both sides of their mouth. Yes, we have been told to warn our maximum leader, Mazen Nnamdi, to be very wary of these people. Don't trust their laughs. Don't trust their apologies. Don't trust their, you know, uh, they may even, at this point now, begin to praise you, begin to throw accolades on you, begin to sing your praise. All this is done for you to relax, and then they'll hit you, right at the jugular. In fact, we are reminded of what happened to the Ogoni 12. Yeah, the protesters of Ogoni people who said, no, you have devastated our land, you have made our waters undrinkable, you have made our environment, polluted our environment, and where people cannot be fishermen, we can't plant because oil has spilled into all the land. We don't have clean water to drink. All our places waterlogged, oil and all that, and yet our people are living in abject poverty. Yes, you remember when the military tribunal that was handling the Ogoni Nine, with their leader, Chief Gen Saro Wiwa. They were all there when they brought them in. Yes, under the military trial. Yes, military trial then. Yes. The first thing the, the judge told Ken Saro Wiwa was that, oh, Ken, how are you? I read a lot of books. You're a prolific writer. I read your poems. I read certain a lot about you. You're a great man. I like your creativity. You are actually a leader of this generation. You are a beacon of hope to the youth and to your people. You have really tried. And I'm happy that you can sacrifice time to, uh, pursue matters concerning your people. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you all remember what happened to Kensaro. We were after this so-called apology from the judge who was handling his matter, after the so-called laughter, after the so-called eulogizing of his creativity and his prolific writing, then Sarorua and Yogoni Nine were sentenced to death by hanging. Did you hear that? Ken Sarorua, leader of the Ogoni group, who were spearheading, the protest against all the oil producers, Shell and Co, and the Nigerian government under the administration of Sani Abacha. The presiding judge on the military tribunal, who was eulogizing all the good works of Kansore, who were all his books. I was a prolific writer. Eventually, still convicted him and said, the Ogoni 12, the Ogoni 9, Ogoni 12 to die by hanging, death by hanging. And so we have just been told that our Mazimuni Damazi Nnamdi Kanu should be very wary of Justice James Omotosho, who is a Yoruba man to the core, who comes in wolf clothing, in sheep clothing, but he's a wolf. Beware. The first day of his trial, yes, it's a day of apologies. He apologized to you, and of course, your counsel felt okay since the trial judge, which I enjoyed as Justice James Omotosho says, the length of your trial may have taken a toll on you, Mr. Kanu. You were arraigned in 2015 when you were barely 47 years. Now you are 57 and still does not know where you are headed. This may have led you to make certain comments which were not right. I forgive you for all you said about Bintan Yako, Justice Bintan Yako. I forgive you for abusing the chief prosecutor of the Federal High Court, Awolomo. I forgive you for, every misdemeanor within the court that had to force Justice Bintan Yako, Motola Yako, to recuse herself. So now let's get ready. I feel for you. I feel for you, a great man. You must the length of the trial since 2015 and up to now you don't know where you're going, might have affected your judgment, might have affected your insight, might have led to your violence and to your anger inside the court. I'll let that go. I'll not treat it as contempt of court. Ladies and gentlemen, in that same line, our own Chief Kanu Agabi, son, who was a two-time Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria, equally toed the line and apologized, on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's behalf, saying that, of course, he's sorry and all that. He was speaking for a Muslim leader. But we have just been told, sirs, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be very, very careful. Be careful of those who come in wolves, wolves' voice or sheep's clothing. Comes in sheep's clothing, but they are wolves waiting to grab you when you least expect it, waiting to deal with you when you seem to have relaxed and forgotten. Please, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, please, your legal representatives, Chief Kanu Agabi, son, I beg you, sir, I beg you, look before you leave. Don't take everything that you have been told hook, line, and sinker. Don't be carried away by the accolades. Don't be carried away by the ovation. Don't be carried away by the personality who is apologizing. Yes, is he apologizing? Has he moved you away from the DSS dungeon? Did he say, okay, since today that the trial is going to start, we want to put you in a normal place, in a normal detention camp? We want to put you in a house arrest where you be coming to the camp. He didn't say any of these things. So those kind of saying you stayed for so long, might have fighted your health, is lip service. As far as one concerned, we have been told to consider them as lip service. We have to be very, very sure of what we are hearing. Look before you leap. Don't take everything hook, line, and sinker. Yes, please, ladies and gentlemen, that is our message for this audio. Let us be very careful. The first trial, the March 21st, 2025, of our maximum leader, Nnamdi kanu, under the chief, the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho. Yes, was all about apologies, was all about greetings, was all about observations of our maximum leader's health and his frustrations. Yes, yes, we agree. But please let us not be deceived. It doesn't mean that he's going to handle you kid gloves. This is a judge that has been told what to do. We know his antecedents. His antecedents is he dances to where his bread is buttered. He's a man who traces his political affiliations. He's a judicial a gentleman who still dances, to the beck and call of his employers. Let us be very wary. Yeah, we're not saying, maintain, uh, maintain a decorum. Maintain decorum, yes. We might still maintain decorum, but please, let's be guided. Let's be guided. There's more to this apologies. There are more to these observations of frustrations and all that. That means the eye. Let us not be deceived. Let us remember the Ogoninai. Let us remember Chief Ken Wewa. Yes, the Niger Delta, you know, uh, uh, protest leader who was, despite every ovation, despite every you know commendation about his prolific writing, about how he has suffered detention, about how he didn't deserve it, about he was a leader of his people, and yet he was condemned to death by hanging. And less than 24 hours later, despite the whole wide world pleading for him, pleading for the Ogoni 9 of 12, the Nigerian junta, military junta, then uh, headed by Sani Abacha, refused to show mercy. They were immediately hanged to death. Hanged to death. Very sad one. But we pray this will not be the fate for our Muslim leader, Nnamdi kanu. We trust the ability, the experience, and the sagacity of Chief Kanu Agabe, son, former Attorney General, two-time former Attorney General. We believe he will do the magic. We believe this time around, and unfortunately too, it is not a military administration. This is a civilian rule. No matter how it resembles the military junta, where uh, issues of rule of law is abandoned at every opportunity. You can imagine a head of state, that a president who woke up one morning and declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, despite the fact that the House of Assembly could not muster up to third of a majority, the House of Reps could not muster to third of majority, despite the fact that it had no legal backing. The man stood up like a military head of state in a civilian garb and declared, the state of emergency in Port Harcourt. Instead of him to call his FCT minister to order, instead of him to reprimand the same Fubara and the FCT minister, say, look, two of you are adults. FCT minister, with Mr. Wike, behave yourself. I thought you're a lawyer. Let this man rule in peace. If you don't want him, let the people decide after his first term. He didn't say that. All he did was to use the federal might, the power, give it to him, the veto power, and unilaterally declared a state of emergency. The man who calls himself a Milocom, the man who said it is my turn, unilaterally declared a state of emergency. Is he in a military? Is he a military head of state? Is he an emperor? Are we not practicing democracy where the rule of law should be followed? Are there not processes? Are there not protocols to be observed? Are there not legal, uh, structures to be and conditions to follow? No. Woke up and on his own, use his power. Maybe he has too much power to dispose. to this position as an emperor. He hit the gavel down. I hereby declare state of emergency in Rivers State. The governor, his deputy, the legal assembly, House of Assembly are hereby suspended for 6 months. That is the highest level of wickedness and illegality. And he still doesn't care. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. Let us beware as far as the trial now of our maximum leader, Nnamdi kanu, is going under the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho. All these apologies, all this laughter, all these encomiums, all these observations about how the long trial has taken its toll on our man should not derail us, should not deceive us. No. Telling us our Nnamdi kanu was 47 when he was first taken, in 2015, and now he's 57 and still does not know where he's headed. This may have that it may have led him to make certain comments which were not right. Those are things you tell the Marines. Tell that to the Marines. Those are old wife tales. Let us face the trial and let's face the fact that Nnamdi kanu has no case to answer. He should be released unconditionally. That is what we want. That's the observation we want. Save all the apologies. Save all the ovations. Save all the evaluations. Save all the storyline observations about his health, about his time, about his duration there. Save it all. Call a spade a spade. The man is a peaceful protester. He's a peaceful gentleman who was towing the line of law when he talked about the plight of his people. That is it. That his people should either be given their rightful place as bona fide citizens of Nigeria or allowed to go and form their own country. If you don't need them, why force them to stay? That is what Nnamdi kanu represents. And that is why we all love him. The whole Southeast, the whole Biafran will stand by him. Justice James Omotosho, you have to be very careful. This is our man. This is our son. This is our leader. We will follow him anywhere he goes. Thank you, and God bless every one of us. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, this should not be a case of wolves in sheep clothing with intention to deceive, to beguile, and to cause us to lose, focus. Let us not be derailed. Let us not be deceived. Let us always call a spade a spade. Don't take everything, take everything with a pinch of salt. Don't take everything hook, line, and sinker. No, nobody can deceive us. We have been deceived several times. There was a time a military head of state in this country, General Gowon, told the Igbos after Civil War, no victor, no vanquished. We believed him. But what happened to us? They gifted us with only 25 pounds, no matter what you had in your account. They took the rest of our money and developed the other regions in Nigeria. After they gave us their word, no victor, no vanquished. No, we will never be deceived again. Biafrans shall never deceive again. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High Himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake, Biafra will come. Because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. Our enemies are equally important because they must listen. Those who do not love the truth must listen. Those who are beholden to darkness, they must also listen, for we are here to bring light upon a very darkened continent without Biafra. Africa is nothing without Biafra. There is no difference between a black man and a wild animal in the forest. We say it with every ounce of conviction. I welcome each and every one of you. If you're joining us for the very first time, this is Radio Biafra. This is how we do it. We magnify the name of the Most High before we do anything. That is why we are exceptionally formidable. That is why